Sadly, my late partner was actually beaten up in a local pub and he consequently died, and the support I had from the police through the investigation, the inquiries and everything else was fantastic, not just for me but for my daughter who was 8 at the time. Personally, I don't think it's what the police can do to serve the community. I think it's what the community needs to do to support the police. There is a lot of crime goes on, drug-related and alcohol, especially in the Bournemouth and some of the local areas. People complain about it. They say that the police should monitor it, but if the public kept the police informed as to what was happening, it would make everybody's life easier.
I would like to see more of the old school one beat as opposed to driving around in panda cars. What I call the old school policing. If you've got a problem, you can normally tap them on the shoulder and they sort it out for you there and then.
In other areas of Europe, you've got local councils and government putting in places for the homeless certain schemes like picking up litter and things like that during the community, and then they get a wage at the end of the day, but they're going around picking up litter, giving something back to the community.
I think they are starting to realise it. In fact, people do like to see them in the community, so we do see police out walking and on bicycles and so on. I think generally that does make people feel better and more secure about their police force.
I think at times when it's a bit rough, it would be nice to see more of the community style policing where they're walking around talking to people and just advising them and things.
Just be present, just be visible. We know they're there, but it's good to be visible.
Better communication, I would think. Not so much focus groups, but community meetings where police are present, where people can air their views more regularly. People might attend them more and obviously feel safer. They'll be able to get their views across anyway, at least.
For the amount of police there are, I think they do a good job. All right, response times are not always brilliant, so I've heard, but I've never had the case to need a response. So
we gave them our footage for our shoplifters, and we didn't really hear anything for ages, so we didn't know if anything had happened. So maybe just a bit more, like almost after the event, communication of what's happening.
I think generally they do a pretty decent job. I don't think you see them around a bit, which is good. They're not over the top in terms of the amount you see them, but you see them enough to know that they're about. And fun enough, we've just parked the car and just walked by and saw one go by, and I think their presence is pretty reasonable actually for a small area.
There is obviously big criminals and big things to deal with, but serving everyone and serving the local people and being around as a sort of helping hand and seeing them makes you feel safer as well.